this is just to showcase the program that I made. Basically, what the program does is it reads this document full of attacking units, and then it'll run simulations for each of those units against this other document of defenders. And these are various equivalents, guard equivalent, space marine equivalent, and so on, land raider towards the end and stuff. And what the program does is it basically says, oh, hey, this is a new unit. I'm going to collect all the weapons listed under it, and then I'm going to attack it against T3 for however many thousands of times I tell it to in the simulation, and then crunch the numbers and report out whatever statistical analysis that I want. And then do that same unit against T4, T5, and so on, constantly spitting out the numbers that I want. And then it'll select the next unit and its weapons and rinse and repeat automatically. And I will show you what that looks like. Right now I want to do the mean. Okay, so run and run. So this is just a little progress bar telling me what unit it's running and which toughness value it's currently calculating, but then it deletes that, so you can ignore this. But here it's spitting out these numbers. And the crazy thing is, when using Unit Crunch, it'll get the same sort of simulation analysis that Unit Crunch does. But when using Unit Crunch, I have to manually say, hey, I want to attack this unit against this target. It'll take a few seconds. It'll spit out whatever number. I copy and paste or write it down into an Excel. Then I have to change the target to this other one, wait a few seconds for it to run, and then copy and paste. And I have to do each of these manually. And even when I was super in the flow, not accounting for programming all the different stats into the website for all the weapons, it would still take me about like 10 to 15 seconds for each of these. And so this is like 6 to 8 different toughnesses and another 8 units. So this would take roughly like 10 minutes to do each of these manually. And as you can see, this thing takes about on the order of 10 seconds to run for each of these. And so one, it's faster. Two, it is copy and pastable into an Excel, so I can do further analysis or color coding and all that fun stuff. But also, I can manually tell it different stats to do. So if I just want the median, I can do this, although I really don't like the median value. Oops, error. Oh, I changed the wrong thing. Anyway, this is also why right now, unless you know coding, this isn't really good for sharing. There we go. But this will now spit out the median values, which is of questionable utility. But what I really want is this interquartile mean. So it's looking at the middle 50% of the data and doing an average of that. So it's throwing out the outliers above and below. And so that, I think, is a better value to look at than just the mean. And while this is running, I will also explain. So these units, these are kind of funny units. Right now, I'm trying to figure out the most optimal loadout for the Rogel battle tank, because there are 2 different main turret options. There are 2 different hull cannon options, 2 different sponsons, 2 different little nipple guns at the front. And so what I did is I made each of them its own unit, just so I can look at them across here. And then I can say, hey, I've already looked at this, but the oppressor cannon plus autocannon really outperforms the twin battle cannon. Same thing for the pulverizer versus the castigator, and so on. So one, it's helpful for me to just quickly say, oh, this is what the quote-unquote optimal loadout should be. And here's a nice benefit. I can very quickly say, well, I don't want the battle cannon, I don't want the castigator, don't want the bolter, don't want the stubber, and I'm just going to combine all these into one unit. So now, and I'll call this the Rogel Ultimate Edition. That has the oppressor cannon with its coaxial autocannon, the pulverizer hull mount, the 2 multi-meltas on the sponsons, and the 2 multi-meltas at the front, This is now a unit. I'll save this and I can run this. So now this is a true unit, and these are the values. And so I can easily copy and paste this into an Excel. The real goal is I need to start building out a library to get all the various units that I want through here, and then run the analysis like a big batch across all of that, and go from there. So yeah, that is what I've been up to, and also why I still only have about 60 points worth of battle ready guard army. But it is what it is. All right. Bye bye.